introduce myself. My name is Victor Splint, and this is my associate, Mr. Paisley Cane. And that is a telephone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for this evening, we want to will ourselves back to the glory days of the 1940s and the 1950s. Now, that means a certain decorum, it means a certain sense of dress, and it means no bloody telephones. So I would like everyone who has a mobile telephonic piece of apparatus to silence it now! Or my colleague here, Mr. Cane, might get a little upset. And if my colleague Mr. Cane gets a little upset, you will quickly find that other people will get a little bit upset. Do you follow? Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have an evening of Retro Burlesque, which has been devised by the lovely Miss Lulu Sapphire. She is the person behind this, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful evening taking place in the salubrious environs of this seedy drinking establishment. Now, you may wonder how a pair of gentlemen, such as myself and my colleague Mr. Cane here, have become involved with this. And sometimes we wonder as well. I will explain. You see, we are, as you can probably see, a pair of culture vultures. We are, ladies and gentlemen, we are. We love a bit of the old culture. You know, when we're in our natural environment down the smoke, we spend most of our time down the National Theatre, you know, down the Old Vic, down the Opera House. Anywhere that purveys culture to the masses. Anywhere that uplifts the soul. Anywhere
that needs protecting.
That's right. I remember, you know, when they actually opened the South Bank complex, you know, I said to Sir Lawrence Olivier, Larry, I said, you know, all respectful like, this is a wonderful edifice, this whole thing. This is a wonderful edifice of contemporary urban brutalism. And trust me, I know something about that. It would be a shame if something happened to it. So we know all about this kind of thing. Now, it all happened a couple of weeks ago. We happened to be at a little cultural evening, ladies and gentlemen, in the sleepy little enclave of Romford. It was what you might call an alfresco arts event. It's an entertainment in which the whole community, ladies and gentlemen, were fused together in one great artistic endeavour. It was as though everyone there felt that they somehow had a stake in proceedings. You know, Mr. Cane here certainly felt he had a stake in what was going on that evening, right up until the moment when his dog came in last. Mind you, I did think for a second he was being a trifle optimistic, putting 200 liquor on a muck called tripod.
I had an affinity with the name.
He had an affinity, and no one wants to get in the way of Mr. Cane's affinities, it has to be said. Now, but what happened that night, a bit of serendipity, ladies and gentlemen, what happened was, as well as seeing a few mucks fall over, we also saw, across the dog track, the lovely Miss Lulu Sapphire, eating chips, all delicate like. And we got chatting, because we've had a few tickles in the past, myself and Lulu, and she said, Victor, she said, all elegant and sophisticated with the fag grasped thus. Victor, she said, I am putting on an evening of Retro Burlesque in the sleepy town of Colchester. Would you be up for doing a bit of the old posh chat? And I said, Lulu, of course, posh chat is my middle name. So, we are here to be comparing this evening of the burlesque. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about burlesque, you see, ladies and gentlemen. It's not
stripping.
No, it is not stripping. It is not
seedy.
It is not in any way
degrading.
It is not sleazy, degrading or disrespectful. Now that may be true of the lap dancing, of the pole dancing, of the things like this, but no, ladies and gentlemen, this comes out, this is a very empowering experience for the ladies. This is important. This is a celebration of the female form. This is a celebration of the Pythagorean muse and all that cobblers. So, what I want from you, ladies and gentlemen, is a sense of shock and awe, rather than, well, let's put it this way. We want cheers and not jeers. We want empowerment, we do not want degradation. Because if there is any sense of degradation of the ladies tonight, we will not be happy. Because, as you can probably tell, myself and Mr. Cane are dyed-in-the-wool feminists. This is particularly true of Mr. Cane. There is nothing Mr. Cane likes more, after an hard day, hitting people in the head with a refrigerator, there is nothing he likes more than to go home, brew himself a nice hot pot of chamomile, and bury his nose in the female eunuch.
I love that Jermaine Greer.
He loves that Jermaine Greer. He can't get enough of it. It's absolutely true. So if there's any sense of degradation, any kind of leering or jeering, that kind of stuff, he will not be happy. And if Mr. Cane is not happy, nobody's happy. Now, what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a little chance to get in the right spirit, in the right mood for the burlesque night tonight, we are going to get Mr. Cane. Mr. Cane, are you right early, Mr. Cane? Now, my colleague is going to withdraw for a second. Now, this is going to require a certain suspension of disbelief, ladies and gentlemen. It certainly will. When Mr. Cane comes back through that door, I do not want you to imagine a very large Welshman in a dodgy suit. I want you to imagine that he is in fact a beautiful lady burlesque performer of the female persuasion. I want you to imagine the most glorious woman you could possibly imagine coming through those doors, and I want you to respect her. I want you to whoop. I want you to cheer. I want you to love the person coming through that door as a little bit of a practice, if you will, for what is happening later on. Now, if you can love this, trust me, you can love anything. Now, I'm just going to see how Mr. Cane is doing. Now then, Mr. Cane, Mr. Oh, dear God. Now, you know what I was saying about willing suspension of disbelief? Well, if that Isambard Kingdom Brunel bloke was into the suspension of disbelief and not the suspension of road bridges, even he would have a trouble with this. So, what we're going to have to do is work very hard. But we are going to now welcome Mr. In fact, no, Miss Paisley Cane! So what I want to do is a little bit of a whoop. I want everyone to do a really good burlesque whoop. So 1, 2, 3, on the count of 3, go whoop. 1, 2, 3. That's not bad. I tell you what, we'll do the old panto routine. It always works. This half. I want to hear this half over here. Well, technically speaking, because we are in the round, that is sort of like 2 quarters at the moment. But anyway, so if this 2 quarters could give me a whoop. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this 2 quarters could give me a whoop. 1, 2, 3. You win. You're going to have to work harder.